This story is a rewrite of a story that I wrote November 24th, 2015, under the prompt, When Butterflies Attack. Miranda's grave was overgrown with weeds and wildflowers in the shade of the willow tree. Butterflies fluttered through streaks of sunbeams cascading on her shallow grave. There her body slept, yet her soul was restless and wrought with sorrow. She had always enjoyed this place as a child, walking along the babbling brook and reading books in the shade. It was her only escape from the constant purgatory of home. Now, however, it served as refuge to her spirit. So, in death, Miranda walked the same brook. Nature was her companion now, as she danced and laughed in the filtered light of the thick forest canopy. Butterflies twirled around her, floating gently in the cool breeze down the bank. The water crashed over the smooth rocks of the creek, the rapids drowning out the sounds of the forest. She sat on a rock, dipping her feet in the frigid, churning water. How she longed to feel the cold sensation running over her toes. She longed to feel anything at all besides the constant sorrow that plagued her existence. Sometime later, a sound caught her attention. It wasn't pleasant like that of the country, but that of an interloper. A large, fat man stumbled from the tree line, struggling to stand in his seemingly drunk stupor. He staggered across the embankment, reeking of cheap whiskey, before arriving at the edge of the water. He began to sigh in relief as he tainted the purity of the water with the waste of his bladder. Miranda began to remember something unpleasant. Her death came rushing back as she imagined the man holding her frame below the surface. She remembered how powerless she felt then, how weak she was. Something inside her stirred. She felt a burning rage that frayed the edges of her very existence. She could feel her soul breaking apart, and so she let loose a guttural scream. The man looked up startled as thousands of butterflies rushed at him. The torrent overwhelmed him, and he began flailing and swatting at them with his fat hands. They climbed into his eyes and nose until he began to scream. Hundreds of butterflies filled his gaping mouth, cutting off his airway. Miranda smiled. She was no longer the weak, helpless girl she was long ago. He stumbled, and Miranda watched his head catch the edge of a rock jutting out of the current. The body bobbed to the surface before quickly drifting down the rapids. She could feel his light blink out. The man was dead. Miranda blinked. Her rage subsided. Her memories grew dim once more, and she continued to dance down the creek. The man that had tortured her, raped her, and killed her was no more. He had been for many years now. Yet her soul could not rest. There would be no peace for Miranda or any man that dared to disturb her. It is said to beware the shade of Widow's Creek, where the butterflies dance through filtered sunbeams.